I mean, it really kind of sucks because I used to be a real big lover when games came out. They were exclusive reasons to buy a product. And for everyone about to say that that's pro-consumer, shut up. Because the reality is, this is anti-consumer.
You serious?
Hey, what's up everybody? I hope you guys are having a great day. So if I do have a bit of a lisp in this video, it's because I just got Invisalign. It's not because I have turned into a fucking complete nerd while making these videos, although it may seem like that. I just want to thank you guys once again for all the recent support on the videos. I've really been enjoying making these videos. Well, I do say that with a caveat because watching these videos is pretty much self-torture. Listening to all these toxic fanboys spew garbage for hours editing is honestly pretty terrible, but I do it for you, so I hope you appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the videos because I do enjoy making these videos. It's quite entertaining listening to these fanboys and being able to completely tear their arguments down with actual facts and logic. But anyway, today we're going to be watching a video by a guy who does TV reviews and wears a Deadpool mask, and it's somehow a podcast apparently, even though it's just a 10-minute video of this guy spewing a bunch of incorrect information about the Series X. But hey, that's what we've come to expect from these console fanboys. So let's get right into this excellent video.
Today I'll be telling you guys why Xbox Series X is a bad purchase until the mid-cycle refresh, since I had so many Xbox fanboys and fanatics attack, defame, and just continue to run with such negative conversation. I wanted to kind of clear the air with facts that most of them are not looking at.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it for you right now. He does not state any facts in this entire video. So he doesn't explicitly say what he's talking about when he's saying that Xbox fanboys are attacking and defaming something. We can reasonably assume he's talking about Xbox fans shitting on the PlayStation, spreading misinformation of their own, which, you know, I agree can be true. But let's go ahead and see why he thinks the Xbox Series X is a bad purchase until the mid-cycle refresh.
Now, disclaimer. This is not an attack on Xbox gamers, contrary to popular belief. And this has nothing to do with PlayStation 5.
So the title of the video is why you should not buy an Xbox Series X, and it's not about PlayStation 5, but you just said you're making the video because so many Xbox fans have been attacking and defaming something, which we can reasonably assume is the PlayStation. So that was a lie.
This isn't some console war propaganda. This video instead is about highlighting why Xbox Series X is a bad move to help, again, ground this whole anticipation in some form of reality.
What the fuck are you talking about? Ground anticipation and reality? This is literally console war propaganda. This video is about why you shouldn't buy the Xbox.
Now that being said, smack a like on this video if you appreciate these kinds of things, because I'm getting to the point right now.
No, I don't think I will.
Yeah, no, I actually really don't appreciate garbage content. That's why I shit on videos like this.
All right, so let's talk about it. First off, there are no exclusives until 2022, because again, there's a 2-year hiatus. I mean, come on, a whole 2 years later before you see something made specifically for Series X?
What the fuck are you talking about? This guy never uses any specific examples in this video. Like, he might use some, but he doesn't use specific examples to back up any of his fucking claims. He's such a fucking nimwit. What do you mean there's no exclusive games designed for the Xbox until 2022? Halo Infinite comes out in 2021. There's also a slew of other games specifically made for the Series X coming out at launch. You obviously did not do much research before making this video.
Now, Microsoft will leave you relying on multiplats that honestly anyone can play and pumping out games designed for old hardware. I mean, seriously, that means Xbox Series X is held back from day one.
Okay, so based on your logic, then the PlayStation 5 would be held back by day one, right? Because we just found out Horizon Forbidden West, as well as Spider-Man Miles Morales, will also be on the PS4. So where's your logic there, buddy? That is just literally a double standard. And who gives a shit if anyone can play a video game? That's the point of a video game console, to play video games. Who cares if other people can play the same games as you? That's just an irrelevant argument.
And HDMI 2.1 is a nice thing and everything, but I mean, right now, the vast majority of 4K consumers have 4K 60 TVs, and devs will target 120 FPS. So while games will have up to 120 FPS, again, up to is not locked. And technically, that support is there, but it's unrealistic to expect anything above 60 FPS, right?
No, you're not right. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yes, they design most games to run at 60 FPS, but the console has the capability to get up to 120 frames a second, and there are some games that are designed specifically to get up to that point. Also, just because your TV can't run at 120 frames doesn't mean that you can't play that game. If you know a single thing about frame rate, you would know if you have a 60 Hz monitor and a 165 Hz monitor, you can play the same game on both monitors. You're just going to have a better refresh rate on the one that has a higher amount, obviously.
Especially for most titles, because that represents the vast demographic of people. I mean, these are basically 20 series consoles with HDMI 2.1, which is cool and everything, but definitely isn't designed with 4K 120 FPS at the forefront of these machines. Remember, support and target performance are two different things.
I'm not gonna lie, this is a very painful video to make because I have to sit here and break down every single retarded claim this guy makes, and I have to rack my brain trying to understand what he's trying to say. Obviously, support and target performance are two different things. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? All games have a targeted performance of 60 FPS, and there are some games that have the capability to go up to 120. So I really don't know what the fuck your point is here, because that doesn't make any sense. The Series X has the capability to run games at 120 FPS, and now while not every single game will be able to do that, most will be at 60, the console literally was designed with these capabilities in mind. So you're wrong.
Now, another reason why it's a bad move right now is because all Xbox games are going to other platforms like PC.
How is that a bad thing? How is more people being able to play a game with you a bad thing? If anything, that's a great thing. Being able to play games with your friends who have a PC who might not have an Xbox, or being able to play games with people who haven't upgraded yet, is literally the reason why you would want to stay on the Xbox. If all of your friends are on Xbox, you can still play with them on the Xbox One, or if you have friends on PC, it's great because you can play with them. If you're on PlayStation, you can only play with people who have PlayStation unless it's a cross-platform game. So this is probably one of the worst takes I have ever heard, an argument that the Xbox is a bad buy, which is the whole point of this video.
There's no exclusive game serving as an answer as to why you should buy the Xbox brand or console. Because honestly speaking, just saying you're Xbox and you're making a new machine, that isn't enough. People buy games and gaming consoles to enjoy themselves. And honestly speaking, how are you going to enjoy yourself if for the first 2 years nothing's special about your machine?
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Here, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Most people don't give a fucking shit about exclusives. They just want to play games with their friends. So if you play on Xbox, you're able to play with more of your friends. And while I think the exclusive argument is fucking retarded, he keeps bringing up the fact that there's no exclusives until 2022, which is completely fucking wrong because Halo Infinite comes out 2021, and there's also a slew of other games coming out at launch. So once again, he's stating completely incorrect facts, but I'm not really surprised. No fucking shit people buy consoles to get enjoyment out of them. How is being able to play more games with more people going to hinder your enjoyment? That makes no sense. I'm not trying to say the Xbox is a gift from God, but one of the things that makes it special is backwards compatibility, as well as Gamepass, which is incredibly cheap, that allows you to play pretty much the entire catalog of every Xbox game ever, and the fact that any exclusive that comes out on Game Pass you get for no additional charge day one. Also, you can play with anyone who has a PC, and if you have a PC, you can get the games there and play there if you want. So yeah, in my opinion, that is kind of special, especially for games that have cross save, because let's say you start a game on your Xbox and you don't really like how it feels like an FPS game, you could take that cross save, move over to your PC, download that same game for no additional cost and play there.
And then when they do make exclusive games for the Xbox brand, they're just going to go to other platforms that again, I mean, I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, I'll explain it to you. It's pretty fucking simple. There's a thing called cross compatibility in Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you can play any games that are available on PC with people who play on Xbox. These irrelevant claims that more people being able to play the same video game as you is a bad thing is probably your worst reasoning so far as to why you shouldn't get a Series X. But let's see what else he's got to say.
I mean, it really kind of sucks because I used to be a real big lover when games came out. They were exclusive reasons to buy a product. And for everyone about to say that that's pro-consumer, shut up. Because the reality is, this is anti-consumer.
You serious?
Because the companies are no longer trying to fight for your business, and the walking away of exclusive games and walking away from exclusive games proves that point oh so very clearly. They don't care about you, they care about selling subscription services. So you're pretty much just a number on a spreadsheet at this point in time, and that's disgusting.
What's disgusting is your allegiance to a multi-billion-dollar company that doesn't give a fuck about you. Alright, so the sheer level of fanboy logic in that last statement is so fucking bad that we're gonna need to sit here and break down a few parts of it. Saying that this is anti-consumer is fucking mind-boggling. You are the biggest corporate shill I have ever heard. This is fucking ludicrous. Sony obviously doesn't have to fight for your loyalty. You fucking PlayStation fanboys suck so much Sony dick. I'm surprised you're not getting paid for it yet, but you're basically saying that it's a bad thing what Microsoft is doing, leaning more into accessibility for more people, and you think it's good that Sony charges you $70 for their exclusives that nobody else can play but you, and that makes you feel special. I understand. How in your right mind do you think allowing more people to play a video game by offering a subscription service that is basically affordable by anyone and making those games cross-compatible with PC anti-consumer? You are honestly the embodiment of what these companies want a complete corporate shill who would defend their actions to your last breath to be. You really think that a company that charges you a second time for a game that you already bought on the last generation at an upcharged price is pro-consumer? How fucking blind are you?
I mean, Xbox would be the best place to play if more gamers thought like me and wanted exclusive reasons to be an Xbox gamer.
Yeah, if we all thought like you, the human race would cease to exist because we would all be virgins with no chance at ever getting with a woman.
The third reason is because it's just expensive as hell this time around. A lot of people have not done the figures on this, but it's honestly just as expensive as PC.
Oh yeah, I thought we were only talking about facts here, bud, but you clearly don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
The console alone is $500. And it comes with only 800 gigabytes of available system storage because, again, you know, it eats away at 200 of that. So, again, when you have 200 gigabytes already going to system storage, then that leaves you with a smaller list of games that you can put on this machine. And honestly speaking, with games getting bigger, you'll end up again buying that 219 SSD to add extra storage here from Seagate. I mean, that expansion is going to be really expensive, and again, it drives the price up way beyond what we were expecting, and that puts it well over the $700 price range.
You clearly didn't have this video thought out too well, did you? If you want to do some quick figures here, the Xbox and the PlayStation after getting a storage upgrade would literally be the same price. Plus, the PlayStation games are $70 plus an additional controller and any other accessories you want to get like PlayStation Plus. They are both going to be around the same price, which would not even equal a low-end PC. The PS5 only has about 627 gigs of usable space, while the Xbox has 802. If you want SSD upgrade, which is inevitable, it's $200. Based on what you just said, it would actually be more expensive owning a PS5 because you would run out of space faster than the Xbox Series X would, and you would require a storage upgrade. So your argument is fucking invalid and you're retarded.
We haven't talked about Xbox Live. We haven't talked about those of you who maybe want Game Pass, but let's talk about the elephant rhino in the room. I don't care who you are or what you claim, you're at some point going to buy a physical game for your Xbox or something close to it. And then you're going to pay $69.99 unless you find it on sale. But
no, actually you're not going to pay $69.99 because unlike the PlayStation, not all Xbox games are going to be $70. This is not the industry standard yet, although it could be in the future. At the moment, games are still $60. So you're wrong once again.
Again, games, hardware, I mean, accessories, this is all adding up to be really expensive. And the whole convenient mantra isn't really going so well when it's costing so much. And I feel like if it was going to be a $700 console to get the storage that you actually needed, because let's be real, you're not buying Series X not to take advantage of the SSD capabilities. So if it was going to be that expensive, I'd rather just them come out and make a $800 to $1,000 machine for the people who want that power, who want the extra capabilities, and then make the cheap one for those who want to lowball and just play a layman's gaming console.
You are literally the definition of a layman. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, and it's very clear by pretty much every single point you've made in this video. Nobody is going to buy a $1,000 console. That's why consoles are pretty cheap, relatively, and accessible. The Series S is only $299, so let's say you got a Series S and Game Pass, that's $299 and then $10 a month. Maybe you buy another controller for $60. Now you've spent what, $370? And then of course tax comes in. How the fuck is that anywhere close to $1,000? The whole point of this video is why you shouldn't buy the Series X at launch and wait until the mid-console refresh, when the PlayStation literally applies to all of the same things that you're saying. They're both priced at $500. The games are priced the same, except the PlayStation is selling their exclusives for $70. The controllers are usually around the same, but now PlayStations are $70 as well. PlayStation Plus is the same price as Game Pass. You see where I'm going here? I have not heard a single one of his arguments be backed up by facts as he said he would do in the beginning of the video, and based on his logic, every single fact that he's brought up would also apply to the PlayStation. The actual title of this video should be why you should not get a next-gen console until the mid-cycle refresh, based on everything he's saying, because it still applies to PlayStation. Nothing he said here, aside from Xbox having less exclusives, which is actually not true. Xbox actually has more exclusive studios now, has pointed out any facts as to why you should not buy the Xbox over the PlayStation. But he's a Sony shill, so I'm not very surprised.
I mean, that would have made more sense than nickel and diming the hell out of this transaction. And mark my words, once you add everything up, again, even by the mid-cycle refresh, you would have spent a lot more than that $500 console price tag that everybody's talking about. So again, it's just as expensive as a PC would be.
No, it's not just expensive as a PC. It's not even as expensive as a low-end PC, you fucking numbskull. Go ahead and do some math. I'm sure that's going to be kind of hard for you. I know that's going to be hard for your feeble mind to pull out your calculator and do a little bit of simple math. The Xbox Series X is $500. Game Pass is $10. The SSD is $200. So let's say you spend $710 your first month with Game Pass, right? And then you want to buy a new controller, that's obviously $60. But let's just stick with Game Pass and the SSD, that's $710. That is nowhere near a low-end PC that could run a game at max settings at a frame rate of 120 FPS, which is what the Series S is designed to be capable of. So you obviously do not know a single fucking thing about PC. You're a huge corporate Sony shill, and all the facts and logic that you're going with all applies to PlayStation. But you're so blinded by your fanboy logic that you can't even see that everything you're stating in this video is a complete contradiction and double standard.
Now, when we talk about, gaming and everything like that, this is not a self-reliant machine. Digital Foundry showed old Xbox One games not being able to be fully optimized on its own, relying on a third-party developer to patch the game, meaning Microsoft isn't utilizing the full power you just paid for, and now you're already relying on developer patches. Again, this is bad because they're already working on new titles. Developers would have to want to take the time and manpower away from games to work on older stuff just to do Xbox's job for them.
You just said yourself they have third-party developers to be able to work on these patches, so no, they don't have to take developers away from new games to work on old games. How fucking dense are you? For somebody that makes this much content on gaming, you would have some expectations that you would know at least a little bit of what the fuck you're talking about, but you just keep proving over and over and over you are completely uneducated in every single one of these topics, and it's honestly fucking baffling. If you did even a smidge of research, you would know these people state in almost every single one of these videos, these are all preview consoles and the games are not optimized for the Series S, they're simply running on them, but you're too much of a fucking idiot to actually do any kind of research. So once again, I'm not surprised. I'm so fucking over this video.
This means that games will be either de-optimized when they come out on, again, Series X because they're splitting their manpower, or you're just not going to get that optimization on older games and it's going to run like crap.
No, that's completely fucking wrong. Oh my god, this video, I've never been so pissed off by a video. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not actually scripting this right now. I'm trying to do more of a straight off the rip listening to this video and then giving my feedback on it. And every single one of these points makes me so infuriated because of how fucking stupid this guy is. No, you can literally go to the Xbox website right now and read that all old games are going to be running like they should have at launch because of the capability of the Series S. And no new games are going to be held back by that. The system is just so powerful that it can run all of these old games natively on its hardware, and it can run new games just fine. It's not impacted by being able to play old games. But you Sony fucking fanboys have this weird idea that backwards compatibility hinders the new system when they just came out and said that Horizon Forbidden West and Spider-Man Miles Morales will both also be supported on PS4. So based on your logic, once again, the PS5 would be hindered by this, but they're all touting about how amazing the new Spider-Man game will be on PS5, so this logic makes no fucking sense. Their manpower does not have to be split up. You just said yourself they can use third-party developers to make any kind of patches they need to optimize these games. That has nothing to do with new games coming out.
At the end of the day, it's not ideal, and Microsoft needs to understand that they need to button up their products. Backwards compatibility suggests that you are going to be supporting the older games. And for Microsoft not to have done that in its entirety and to the fullest extent is just, again, big missed opportunity in my opinion.
Actually, it's an opportunity that they took advantage of if you would do any fucking research. Like I just said, if you go to their actual website, you would know that not only should gamers be able to play all of these games from the past, but they should play better than ever before. Backwards compatible games run natively on the Xbox Series X hardware, running with the full power of the CPU, GPU, and SSD. No boost mode, no downclocking, the full power of the Xbox Series X for each and every backwards compatible game. This means that all titles run at peak performance that they were originally designed for, many times higher performance than the game saw on the original launch platform, resulting in higher and more steady frame rates and rendering at their maximum resolution and visual quality. So no, you're fucking stupid, you're wrong. Okay, so I'm just gonna speed this part up because he blabs on about his knowledge of TVs and it's a bunch of irrelevant shit regarding FPS that really isn't worth listening to.
Now, the fifth reason why this is a bad move right now is because it's misleading people with claims of 4K 120. Microsoft is literally making gamers think that it can run games at 4K locked, and in reality, it's just an uncapped frame rate. A lot of people are running out and buying TVs for this. I literally, every day on my channel, as an AV YouTuber, get questions about the best TVs for PS5, and they're running out and buying based off of this. And the reality is, you're going to have an uncapped frame rate, and again, that gives you varying degrees of performance. It's dodgy as an experience overall, and in some cases, you're not even getting the performance that you're expecting, because again, it's varying performance, with some games using dynamic resolution, others using 1080p, just to pull off this 120 FPS, and honestly speaking, it's not ideal.
I guess to round this whole thing out, I would say that, you know, day one, Xbox is still going to be a great choice for the laymen who, again, just want mindless gaming and don't want to have to ever think about what goes into the consoles and what you pay and the cost to value ratio. Then by all means, they're going to keep doing what they want to do, regardless of what I say.
You clearly have no fucking idea what cost of value ratio means. And if you did, you would know that it's irrelevant to your argument considering the fact that the PS5 is going to run out of memory before the Xbox Series S does, and with all of the accessories, they cost around the same price in the end. So you're going to end up spending around the same amount, but you're going to get a better value owning the more powerful system that you can play more games with your friends. Gamepass is actually an excellent representation of a cost of value ratio when talking about exclusives, for example, because instead of spending $70 for an exclusive day one, you can pay $10 a month and get that same game day one at no additional cost, as well as thousands of other titles available with the service.
But if you truly value gaming and you truly value the power that you paid for, I would buy a PC right now, and I'd wait for this beta test to be over and the mid-cycle refresh to come out, because let's be real, the mid-cycle refresh will be the Xbox Series X you should have been getting day one, and you know that it's true.
You really don't have to be much smarter than this guy to realize that buying an updated version of a product 4 years down the line into its life cycle is obviously going to be a better version of that console. But yeah, I do agree, if you do want the most powerful system, buy a PC, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about consoles.
That being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty. And if
The #1 brand in honesty? Give me a fucking break. You are the complete opposite of that.
I saved you some money, maybe consider subscribing, smack like on this video as always. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later.
Alright, so I don't think I have to do any more talking. Any sort of credibility that this guy had is now gone after that little clip we saw there at the end. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This was a really painful video. This was hard to make. Listening to all of these stupid fucking points this guy made honestly made me so mad. Sitting here editing this video for hours and having to listen to it over and over is quite awful. So the least you could do for me is drop a like on the video, subscribe if you want to see more fanboy breakdown videos like this, and also quick shameless plug of the Discord. Go down to the description below, join the Discord and go to video suggestions and drop any links to fanboy videos like this, Xbox, PC, PlayStation, it doesn't matter. I'll tear them all apart, and if they're a good video, I'll go ahead and make another video like this on that cringy fanboy. Other than that, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
No, you ain't no friend of mine. I'm trying to blow like a gold mine. 100K around my neck, no bust down. Legend on my wrist, I used to have no money, so I rode the bus down. I'm top shit, but I don't know who to trust now. Need a burner by my waist now in case I get chased down. 3 shots to the